Hello guys, welcome to yet another video. This is F1 with Mike and this is my reaction to the Australian Grand Prix. Wow. Wow. Who would have thought? I'm sounding like an ambulance right now. But this is such a crazy weekend. A lot has happened. And if you've missed it, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You just missed the best race of the season so far. That's all I can say. Because it had everything. It had drama, it had jeopardy, it had chaos. Everything was just from the beginning till the end. There was something happening at every point, except when it came to overtaking. But we'll not get into that for now. Now let's start everything chronologically from the beginning till the end. Free practice one, everything was going well. Cars were uh, uh, teams were having their race runs and all of that, and then guess who was in the wall? Of all people, it was Alex Albon. Man, when I saw that, I thought it was Logan Sargent at first because, if there's a Williams in the wall, you would not think it's Alex Albon because Alex has been a very decent driver since last year. Not decent, he's been very good to be honest. But Logan Sargent was not in the wall. It was Alex Albon this time. He totally wrecked his car. And you know the crazy thing is, it happened at the same corner which he crashed last year during the race. Just that this time he's in free practice one, and for some reason, oh my! If you see the state of that car, I am just glad he got out of that car safe. There was nothing wrong with him, and yeah. Although the mechanics took a look at the car, and well, Williams couldn't fix it. And it's not like they couldn't. They could have if they had a spare chassis in the garage, but they don't. For me, it's quite mind-boggling that a Formula One team of this size and the pinnacle of motorsports don't have an extra chassis with them at the Grand Prix. But we could go into that, and it will take us down a different path because I think you could say Williams are still like in some kind of remodernization and upgrading of their facilities and all of that. So, according to how James Vowles explained it, I'm not gonna go into it. That's to them, but hopefully by next race they would not try something like this because it's really not a good thing. Because at the end of the day, they had to make the decision to leave one driver and go with one, and they made the decision to bench Logan Sargent and for Albon to take Logan Sargent's car. So that was how that weekend went for Logan. Logan did not participate in FP3 and he did not participate in the qualifying or in the race. It's quite unfortunate, but I think it will be hard for anyone really to take that kind of position, because it's not your fault. You didn't do nothing, and your teammate just because technically he's been the better driver of the team, and well, quite unfair because there was no both drivers were on 0 point at this stage in the season. What was the point of taking that risk? But they did, and did it pay off? Well, we all know how the race ended. I think Albon finished P11, couldn't get in the points. So you could say it was worth it, you could say it wasn't, but that's for the team to decide really. But I don't think it would do so much good for Logan's confidence at this point. Anyway, enough of Williams. Let's go to FP2. In FP2 session, everything just went well. The only thing is that a lot of drivers were going off at not going off really, but they were going over the curb in turn 9, turn 10, the very sharp turn on the track. And when you see the cars going through there, beautiful, just beautiful. But well, there's also there comes with so much jeopardy taking that corner, right? So it was quite tricky. I think Lewis damaged his floor there. I think Max also complained of something like that. A lot of drivers, Leclerc missed that corner a lot of times, and a lot of drivers, Bottas spawned there. Lance Stroll had his own thing there. Even Sergio Perez had it. So it was just so much. But yeah, I think at the end of FP3, Mercedes didn't look good this weekend at all. But at the end of FP3, they were looking good. I think they were in the top 3. Both Mercedes were in the top 3 at the end of FP3. So it was looking like, maybe there was something that could happen. Well. This race showed us Mercedes need work. They need work. They need really. They need to work hard because it's not looking good for Mercedes at the moment. Anyway, into qualifying and qualifying. You thought the drama stopped. Oh my Jesus. It didn't. It didn't. It just kept going and going. The day kept giving. And qualifying, guess who was out in Q1? Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo has been out qualified 3 times in a row by Yuki Tsunoda. And this, me, I was even thinking that, okay, maybe he's at home, he's in Australia, home support, he's gonna pull out the best performance he can get this season. I mean, so far at least. But oh my God, it didn't happen. It didn't. I mean, he tried. To be honest, this one is a bit sticky because he did put in a qualifying lap that would have taken him to Q2, but he went off the track at a particular point. So because of track limits, his time was deleted and he started last. Last of all places in your home Grand Prix. That was really bad and difficult. I don't know how Daniel dealt with that, but I mean, I guess from the recovery, he did recover during the race. Not bad, but still not good enough because Yuki is wiping the floor with him at the moment, to be honest. And so that was like the biggest surprise of Q1. Daniel Ricciardo out in Q1. In Q2, Lewis Hamilton was out. Lewis Hamilton started the race P11. That's a shocker as well. But this is the thing. The Mercedes is just it's just something else. You don't know what to expect with Mercedes. It's just surprising because like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good, sometimes it's just there. It's just sometimes good, sometimes not good, sometimes bad. It's just that's what the Mercedes. But the only time the Mercedes is actually decent is mostly during free practice. After free practice, the car is dead. Like, don't expect anything from the race or during qualifying. But one thing that has been consistent is that George Russell has consistently beat Lewis Hamilton in every qualifying session this season. I stand to be corrected, but I think that's correct. He has outqualified Lewis Hamilton 3 out of 3. That's not looking good for Lewis. I mean, but Lewis, you could say Lewis, maybe a lot of people are saying Lewis has checked out of the season because he's going to Ferrari next year. I feel like it's not in the nature of Lewis Hamilton to do such a thing, but well, we don't know yet. We are all speculating at this point. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton was out in Q2, but also, surprise, surprise, the Alpine of Esteban Ocon made it into Q2. I mean, that was wonderful qualifying from Ocon, but because honestly, the Alpine car is trash, but he did the most with what he had, and yeah, he made it to Q2, and he was, I mean, because the car was bad anyway, he was the slowest car. I think he started the race P15. So yeah, that was what happened in Q2, and in Q3, no surprise here. Max Verstappen was on pole. He pulled out his best qualifying lap in the final, going in the Q3. Yeah, the final lap in Q3. Everyone's final lap. Max Verstappen pulled it out of the bag and he put the car on pole. He did very well. Carlos Sainz returning from a surgery. I mean, as I mentioned, he was one of the drivers which I predicted to be on the podium, P3, but he did better. We'll get into that very soon. So Max was on pole. Sainz was P2. I think Checo was P3, but he got a 3-place grid penalty because he impeded Nico Hülkenberg in the first qualifying session as in Q1. I think that's the reason actually Nico didn't make it into Q2. He couldn't put a good lap in because when he was beginning his lap, Perez was there to not like block him, but he did make him slow down a bit, that's called impeding, and he got a 3-place grid penalty for that, which meant that Checo had to start the race in P6. He was demoted down to P6, and I think it brought Lando to P3, Charles Leclerc to P4, and Oscar Piastri to P5. So that was how the race started, and yeah, that was the top 6 for the race.